Hi, I'm Brick Road. This is Hornets running away from me in Final Fantasy II. I'm gonna apologize just real quick. Oh, for my mouse cursor being on screen for one thing. That is such a faux pas. But there's I know my audio is never great, but I've got my air conditioner is running at full blast today. If you don't know, I live in the great state of Florida, and it is 6 million degrees right now outside. It is so hot, and I just had to leave the house for reasons. And every time you leave the house for reasons, you come back and you're just like drenched in sweat, and it's miserable. This is the BizHawk Shuffler with Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and Mystic Quest and Legend 2 and Dawn of Souls and Free Enterprise. Yes, that's what this is. This is episode 3? I said that out loud, and then I made myself depressed, because, like, look where I am in Mystic Quest. This is as far as we've made it in multiple hours of gaming. There's going to be spots in this video where you just hear my dogs howling in the house, because it's the middle of the day, right? And I don't usually record in the middle of the day. But I live in, like, a house that's on, like, a street, okay? And people are allowed to go up and down the street. And when they do this, my dogs take great offense. It's very alarming to them. They're barking right now. They're out there just very, very upset that somebody is, like, driving a pickup truck down the road, or, like, somebody else walking their dog, or just, like, a guy with a beard. I don't know. So if you haven't seen this series before, Keistis does not have any GFs. I forgot to give her a GF. Hopefully we'll have a chance to do that right after this battle. Would be nice. Yeah, if you haven't seen this situation before, every 45 to 125 seconds, we are going to switch to another Final Fantasy game. That's what's happening. So every time we switch into a game, I've got an average of about 80-ish seconds, 80 to 85 seconds, I think. So over a minute or so to properly... There, got it. She has a GF now. I got to set abilities when we go back. And it's like 18 minutes, typically, between swaps. So we just switched away from Final Fantasy VIII, knowing that I have to use a potion here. Knowing that, like, oh, I've got to... Okay, I just gave her GF, but I still have to, like, equip her abilities so she can actually do stuff. But I've got about 18 minutes before we go back to that game. On average. We might switch back to it right away. It's completely random. It's... Why didn't I use potions on everybody? Why didn't I just keep everybody alive? I feel like we got breath-winged more often than is usual. Is that the case? As many times as I've played this game, you would think I know how the bosses work by now. Because 5 might be my most played Final Fantasy outside of the first one, honestly. Until just a couple of years ago, I did at least one run of Final Fantasy V every single year for the Final Fantasy V 4-job Fiesta, which is, I've got, I think in 2020 I did the run on the channel that's still archived here, where I named every video in that series, that whole playthrough, after after Eiffel 65 songs. Because that's just... Oh, and I have another playthrough. My Christmas video one year was my Fiesta run. That was the last Fiesta run I did. And I almost didn't get a Fiesta run done that year, and then I did it for my Christmas video. Oh, good. We're right back into 8. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and give you draw and magic and item, and you don't need anything else. Cool. And I do want to just double check that we're learning HPJ and Strength J. That's fine. That's what I want. Okay, then. HPJ is going to be very, very important. That's like the most important thing we can get right off the bat. We're just going to go into this town here. And I think we've got to go up to... into the port, there's a shop. No, the train station, there's a shop. I could be, like, getting cards and stuff. Here, let's give Keistis some thunder. Sure, bud. Yeah, this shop. I want to buy... $5 tents. Did I already have tents? Did it, like, start me with tents? I did. Well, I wanted to buy tents anyway. Like, those tents are going to be important no matter what we do. What are we doing? We are walking north. And we're going to save outside of this cave. Maybe I won't do any grinding early in 8. Maybe I'll just... The thing is, the first dungeon is a timed dungeon, and I always feel like it's going to be tricky, but it, like, never actually is, I think. I think it's always kind of okay. Like, it always comes out fine. I wonder if I should have played a version of Final Fantasy IV other than this one. Because I'm playing the US release, which, like, removes a bunch of commands and items and stuff. Like, I'm not going to get Thor Rages, and Cecil doesn't have his Dark Wave commands. Maybe I should have done that. I mean, it's too late now. I'm not going to start the game over from nothing. Even if I did, it probably would have still kind of been okay. Like, the game is pretty short and easy. Like, I probably still would have been reasonable to have it in the shuffle. Because we're assuming that the shuffle... Like, we're going to burn through Mystic Quest first, and maybe, like, Legend 2 are going to be pretty quick. And potentially our Free Enterprise seed, depending on how much of it we have to clear. But, like, even a really, really, like, full, clear Free Enterprise seed, like, even that is only 3 or 4 hours. You know what? I'm not fighting anything until I get Tala in the party. You guys know Tala? He's up there. He's in purple. He's covered in whipped cream. Oh, there's a tent. Send that over to Squall. Squall can make use of that. Old man in the party. With his big purple eyes. And we're right back to... Oh, we're going to get a lot of 8 done today, it looks like. We're just going to keep on keeping on with the Final Fantasy 8. I think I want to fight the birds on the... I probably want to stock a little bit of ice before we get to the actual boss fight. And maybe some cure, if I can. Get some spells in the tank before I go to the Fire Cavern. Because I think Blizzard works pretty good against Ifrit. These had what? Fire and Scan? Will it Keistis draw this time? Because she didn't get to draw last time. Let's see if I can get my trigger. Trigger warning. Yeah, we're good. Then we'll let you draw from this one. Get you some more fire. Oh, they're going to take 3 hits to go down. We got some beefy boys today. You really listen for the sound effect. He gets like that kind of, the sword swing sound effect is where you want to time that button press. And presumably what he's doing is firing a bullet out of the sword. I don't think we actually know how the mechanics of the Gunblade really work, but I have pictured, like, it has a revolver barrel, right? Along, like, the tang of the sword. So I kind of just picture it, like, he swings the sword and then fires a bullet right as the swing. Maybe I'm wrong. could be... Ooh, a box. A whip. You know what? We're not going to use this whip. We're just going to... Anything we don't really need, I'm just going to give to you. To give you some extra agility points. Actually, maybe the whip will be good to use, because it is an agility weapon. Looks like we're going back downstairs now. This is the game where I'm going to get most lost in the maps. Because for one, you can't put most of the maps on screen at a given time. I should have healed you. So if a character dies, we can't... Like, we don't need a Phoenix down or anything. Like, we can heal Snow as long as we've got potions, which we do. Or maybe, like, one potion. I don't... I don't know what we're doing. I didn't buy any, I'll put it that way. We're at this stage in every single game where we're just, like, using up our starting potions for healing. And hopefully we get some dropped, like we just did there. Is anybody still coming? Or is that it? Looks like that was it. Okay. So let's just, something obvious thing. Oh, wait a minute. Give you a beautiful shield. Great. We are in it to win it. Moogles are violent, dude. Look at these guys. Just... How could anybody conquer Narsh with, like, the Moogle militia on the payroll? Doesn't make sense. Kumama's gone. Just, we're gonna write Kumama off. Taste the floor, bud. And yes, I do know that the text box windows, our jungle theme we've got going here, I know it's awesome. It's probably the best text box windows we've got in the whole shuffle. Locke is dead, which is interesting. We did have a fumble in Final Fantasy 1 where we went to try to get the treasures out of the Temple of Fiends and Bosch just ate it. Just absolutely got laid out. Which is funny. We did try to fight 2 creeps, which you should not do at this stage of the game. I was trying to be a big manly man. I have deep insecurities about being bad at the video games that I play on the internet. So I try to overcompensate by, like, doing things that I know will be dangerous in the game. Like fighting 2 creeps with a level, what is this, level 2 party? Honestly, you've got no business even seeing creeps at this stage of the game. But I thought, you know, Bosch he's got his chain armor, he's a fighter. And of course we lost him, and then we lost all of our damage output because he's also our best damaging character right now. Anyway, we're here now. Here, we'll just cut across. Because this room is... And then we'll be back here later again to get the other 2 rooms. Oh, my nemesis has returned. Hey, it's the Edwards. We need to go find the naming way here. So we've got Edward and Udward, and this is going to be... This is going to be Edward. There you go. So Edward is the, like, teal one. And Udward has, like, the black chest plate and the red cloak. And then Edward is, like, red on red on red. We can just real quick check and see what character... If we get the Sand Ruby, this is a character check. If we find a Sand Ruby somewhere. What character is in here? Oh, look, it's Edward. Okay. Great. I think I wanted to get Idward a couple of levels by facing off against some of the early bosses. Remember how long in the last video we tried to get back to Final Fantasy VII so we could try to complete this timed sequence so we wouldn't come back into the shuffle in a timed sequence? Anyway, we've got 8 minutes to not die. So is Jessie also getting random encounters on her way out here? Oh, we're the back attack now, fools. Great. Where were these little warning bugs when we were breaking into the place? That's it, they just holler out warning, but they don't actually do anything about it? Fine. Alright, we'll climb up the incline ladder. Now we've got 7 minutes to not die. I think we can do it. I think we'll be okay. Seems totally doable. It's just when you're in the shuffle like this, you end up kind of having to recalibrate. Also, did Jessie go up without us? There is like a moment of recalibration. It's usually only a few seconds, but like when you've got a timed event, it can maybe feel more stressful than it actually is. And obviously, they give you way more time than you could ever possibly need for this first event. What was happening here? Oh, we're about to get jobs. We're about to get the job system, y'all. So I think Thief is on the table. Because we want to be able to run. We want to be able to dash through the maps, and we want to get preemptive attack. Oh, actually, Thief prevents back attacks. Doesn't give you preemptive attacks. We want to prevent back attacks. And then Thief will also give us Flee, so we can just run from any battle we don't want. Very, very nice. Trying to... I guess we give somebody a blue mage. We want to get the blue command pretty early. And try to get the blue spells we can get. Then I guess Knight and Black Mage, right? Like, we can just run Knight, Black Mage, Blue Mage, and Thief for the whole game and be perfectly fine. Sometimes when you see this guy, it's the real king, like his ghost, and sometimes you see this guy and it's Exdeath pretending to be the king. It's kind of like Christian Shepherd on Lost. Like, sometimes it's like really him, and sometimes it's the black smoke monster. But I think that, like, purple squeezle that just took him there is, like, that's associated with Exdeath. Like, we see that little purple squeezle later, and it's always, like, Exdeath taking control of somebody. How the king died, I don't think we know, and I don't think we ever find out, but, like, Exdeath has assimilated his ghosts. Alright, boys. Mist Cave. I think we do these two quick little... We do this, we do the Antlion's Nest, and that should give Idward enough level ups to be able to get our next character, who is behind a boss fight that we should be okay to fight. Oh, I should have got rid of that. I can't actually use that. I will take that. What's our inventory looking like? Stuffed! Actually, some of these things we can get rid of. Oh, I thought that would actually work. I thought those would give the spells to all Rydias wherever they are. Samurai! Can't use that. Hey, okay, that's going to be helpful. This apple. Let's just give it to our worst off Edward. Excellent. Everybody will get probably 1 or 2 apples over the course of the game. Alright, who this is? Rubicante. Oh, we've all got ice arrows. We started with ice arrows. This is going to go quick. Might go real quick if he does a couple more of those. Okay. So Edward got a couple of levels there. And then whoever is dwelling down in the Antlion nest, we should be able to take them out as well. I guess we will pop a tent before that, though. Camera, why? Why you do this? You gotta... We had to have that whole epic camera pan, like that slow camera, just to show Barret getting shot. We didn't even get to see what he was shot with because Barret took up the whole... They hadn't quite figured out camera mechanics yet. I think we can just agree that at this point in the series, we had not quite got there. Oh, my phone is ringing. I have to take that. Alright, sorry about that. I mentioned at the start of the video that I live in the great state of Florida, and unfortunately, it is election season. We've got elections coming up in November, and it being July, that means my phone blows up every 18 seconds with election spam. Which I don't even understand the point of, because, like, the Republicans are just going to rig the election anyway. They're just going to say and do whatever they want happened in the election. That's just how they roll in Florida. Like, why bother me with all this spam if y'all are just going to ignore the results of the election anyway? So, you hear that? That's a text message, probably from them, leaving me a voicemail. I don't... Who leaves a voicemail in 26? Come on, people. What are we doing here? Anyway, it's 400 trillion degrees outside, and I'm inundated in election spam, and Biggs's biscuits are burning. Listen, man, I empathize. I get it. We're still back in this cave now. I do like to get all the treasures. Oh... I forgot to put Tella in the back row, and also those water bugs are just really hard to kill. I do want to kill some monsters in this dungeon, but those water bugs are terrible. Alright. Ooh, an iron ring. I think you already had one. Yeah, you already have one. I don't take this, especially now if I'm surprised. That noise means I got another text message, and I have it like linked to my computer. Like I can, whenever I get a text message, it pops up in a little app on my computer, and like I can see it's not anything useful. It's just more election spam. It doesn't matter how many of them I block or what I do. I can't ever get clear of it. It's constant, and it's going to remain constant all the way through November. Ugh. I wonder, is part of it's just like to create so much election fatigue? You better get out of here. That, like, they realize that people aren't going to want to engage with the democratic process, because that suits their purpose. The fewer people who actually vote, the better off they are. So if we can, like, annoy everybody to the point where nobody wants to engage with 1,000 little ways to annoy them, like everything we do is just going to be obnoxious, I think I can get away without fighting any of these fools. Oh, I pushed the wrong button, and now I gotta fight them. And I think I'm low on health because I let that scorpion kill me twice. Oh no, it gave me a refill. Beautiful. Okay. Oh god, I just pushed my shoulder button like I was using a gunblade. I'm gonna do that every time Cloud attacks, aren't I? I'm gonna lose track of Cloud and Squall and which one is which. Oh, boy. Alright, I don't need to fight these guys. I think we can just not... We don't need the 48 experience points or whatever. The potion is nice, I suppose. I pushed the button hoping that it would, like, advance the text box quicker, not realizing that it would be me selecting a choice. What was I doing here? I don't think I was doing anything. I think I was just saving. Because we have an airship to get. And I think I can go in here. Yeah. Don't need that. But hey, it's like some fun bucks. Okay, that's to revive. We need to find Cid's ghosts is why we're here. Are you Cid's ghost? Yeah. Heard about the airship in the desert. Wonderful. I can choose my... Yeah, I can choose my walk-around man. We'll use a monk. We'll go with a monk. So I can go with anybody I want. And we know how to fly airships for some reason. This is a very slow airship. We need to go to the castle over here. I know I just saved, but I am going to save it because I'm probably going to die inside the castle, and we don't want that. Alright, we're in Splatoon Castle. And we gotta try to remember where all the treasures are in these, like, castles. We got everybody. Beautiful. Toad's meat. No thanks. We need to heal. I'm not gonna use the last one until he takes damage again. Empty. I think we're like halfway through this dungeon, so we should be good on flame attacks. Light acquired fire. That means... Oh, she has just a fire attack. Great. Here, let's switch that over here. Whatever's down here gets overwritten, so anything she learns that we don't need, we can get rid of. But I think that'll do more damage, but only to a single group. So I think we're going down here now. This looks like Final Room E. So Snow's attack with his sword and Saz's attack with his gun. That's the connection, by the way. That's why I named the robot. The robot Saz was because he has a gun, and that's like Saz's weapons. Do I need to heal? Yes. And it's my last means of healing. Oh, I missed a box back there. You know what? I think I'm okay with that. Because we are about to get just killed, so... I'm looking to get some cure spells here, but I'll take some fire, I suppose. Maybe 2 critical hits from Squall will put the bug down. This turns a lot of people off of this game, this drawing system, but it has never bothered me. I don't mind it. We went through a period of time where, like, grinding was, like, verboten in JRPGs. Like, oh, if JRPG's too grindy, then nobody's going to want to play it. But I think we've kind of settled now on, like, you know what? We just like grinding. Like, if you like JRPGs, you probably like grinding, and there's no reason to pretend like we don't. Which makes Final Fantasy VIII more palatable. Because because we spent a long time trying to make JRPGs that weren't grindy and would like appeal to people more. And I think we just kind of ended up with a lot of slapdash JRPGs. You know what I mean? I don't need to save here because there's going to be a save point in the dungeon before we get to the boss. But you never know if you're going to find great stuff inside of these chests. So we got to open all of the boxes. Also, I just like opening boxes. Lit arrows. I will take some extra arrows. Never know when we're going to run out of arrows. We kind of want to save our strongest arrows for the strongest bosses late in the game. That I can use, actually. Here, let's do this. Put your ice arrows there. There you go, bud. And then you can take the extra ice arrows. Oh, I forgot I was a slave. I need to get back to work. Like, the life of a slave is... the work of a slave is never done. I was trying to sound aspirational, but I think I've just depressed myself. Aren't there, like, paltry amounts of gil just chilling around here somewhere? Don't worry, it won't fall. It totally falls, doesn't it? Yeah. Like, dude, I almost died. Oh boy, 29 gil. My name is Vivi. I'm not going to scour all these rooftops for 29 gil repeatedly. I'm not going to do the stage fighting minigame over and over until Queen Braun approves. I already didn't do any jump roping, so clearly not a hundo run of Final Fantasy IX. We're probably not going to get the Excalibur 2. But I think the enemies I'm looking for are down at the beach with Cure and Ice. There's the cave I want up there. We'll just run up and down the beach a couple times. Yeah, this is what I want right here. And I think these things have Cure and Ice. Blizzard, good. That's what we want. Sleep. I do want sleep. But right now I want Blizzard. So let's kill one, and then draw from the other one until we've got a healthy stock of Blizzard. Yeah, I know I just missed my trigger there. My brain thought I was playing Cloud. There, I hit that one. Are you happy? I remember being so mad when this game first came out because it has like this minimalist user interface in battle compared to Final Fantasy VII, where the whole bottom of the screen is like taken up with your user interface, which is what is typical for Final Fantasy games. And this game went with like this more minimalists, like just name and HP at the bottom. These things have a lot of health, I grant you, but we're really just in it for the Blizzard. Because we want to use this against Ifrit when we get there. Oh, I want to fight this creep, I guess. That's what we were doing, we were fighting a creep. I always get a little, in the back of my mind, I get a little weirded out when, like, a game hasn't popped up in the rotation for a while, and part of me is like, is it still there? Like, obviously it's still there. It's not going to vanish out of my... Unless I sleepwalk into the room and, like, delete stuff off of the hard drive. Like, I guess that's a thing that could happen. Now I'm scared. Now I've spooked myself. The goal in Final Fantasy 1 right now is just to get Ash level 3 magic. And we might not even wait for that, because I could... So the next big thing we have to do is fight wizards in the Marsh Cave, and they're tough, right? Lit 2 is the way to go, but it's going to be a minute before I can use any Lit 2. But I could teach Fran Ruse. Put her in the front of the party, and if she survives the first round, she gets a second Ruse on herself. That'll take a lot of the teeth out of the wizard's attacks, while the other characters hit them. But my only real source of damage are scimitars right now. Which aren't terrific. Level 4 is a good level for wizards if you have a black mage, but I don't have a black mage. All the black mages are in the other Final Fantasy 1 that I'm playing. But I think to start with, we got to go up to the tower. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Wooden. Holy, I don't even think we can use any... Nobody can even use arrows to start with, can they? Let's sleep in the princess's bed. Oh, I can't wait. So comfy. I went in the wrong tower is the problem. I mean, we get the free heal, which is nice, but there's already a free heal in the other village. The other tower has monsters in it that I'm going to be scared of. In fact, let's just duck out and save real quick. So if when I die in the other tower, I don't have to go up and sleep in the princess's bed again. Back to Splatoon Castle. And there's more stuff in the center as well. Alright, left tower. See, told you there's monsters in here. Do what you can, Torgal. That's fine. I'll live. Ineffective. Fantastic. I cannot swear that that has ever worked ever. What's our status here? We're at 99. We're just about to get our fisties. We're just about to get our fisties that we wanted. We should get fisties in this battle. The goal in this game is to get Minwu in the party, so we have a fourth character, so we can use an exploit that turns battle commands into weapon XP. And then we can get everybody up to like level 5 or 6 fisties over the course of probably. So like in the game itself it'll only take like an hour, but we're talking an hour in like 80-second increments every 15 minutes or so. I actually have the stats. Like, the shuffler keeps stats for, like... You know, I'm gonna use my ship to go up there. It keeps stats for, like, how many times we've swapped and what the total game time is. So, like, I could keep you updated with those stats. When I streamed this, when I attempted to stream this previously, I actually set up, like, a little UI along the side of the stream, kind of showing like, this is the current game we're playing, and this is what game we're on, and this is how many times we swapped into this game. I didn't do that for this series. I just had, it's just game footage on a black background. That's what we're rolling with today. And it's because of aspect ratio. Because OBS always wants to capture a window and then keep that aspect ratio for the whole recording or stream. The problem is I've got at least 3 different aspect ratios in this shuffler. Like the Game Boy Advance that we're looking at right now is a little wider. I don't think it's literally widescreen, like it's not 16:9, but it is a little wider than the other ones. So what would happen is, if I booted into, and like Dawn of Souls was the first game in the shuffle, every other game would be stretched to fit, and it looked kind of gnarly. Let's Blizzard this ogre. Like so. We might lose a mage or 2 here if that ogre gets... Oh, we didn't! We might be okay. Love that. Love that for me. Haha. Great. Now, we haven't taken these guys back up to the Temple of the Fiends yet to get that, like, free cap, did we? I think a single Thunder Spell should take out a Sahagin. But, like, we can't survive a lot of these attacks, so... A couple of them missed. One of the major differences in Dawn of Souls is that intelligence scales the power of your magic, which is something that is not true of the NES version. So my mages are just going to get very, very powerful. Like, that Thunder spell they were casting is already more powerful than a normal lit 1 spell would be. Can we job system now, please? Alright, I gotta think in terms of what blue magic I want to get. We want to get Death Spiral, or whatever it's called, from the guy. That's the wrong button, Brick Road. You're awesome at this game. You, sir, will be a thief. You, ma'am, will be a knight. You, sir, will be a black mage. You, ma'am, will... We need a blue mage. Heck yeah, job system. And what I'm looking for first is to learn the blue command. So we'll probably just have Forrest parked on that until she learns the blue command. So later in the game, when we learn blue magic, we can just give her the blue command to cast it. And look how many more thunder spells we get. Because we don't have spell charges in this game. We just got MPs. We just cast pretty much endlessly. I legitimately do think this is the strongest possible party you can make in Dawn of Souls. Every version of Final Fantasy 1 is built to, like, reward you as long as you win battles quickly, and nobody wins battles more quickly than 4 black mages, who have functionally infinite black magic. It's really, really good. It seems like it would be a, like a challenge party, doesn't it? And in the NES version, it is. It's still not that hard. 4 black mages in the NES version, totally doable and actually a lot of fun. But you have to manage spell charges, and your spells aren't as powerful because your intelligence doesn't scale. Speaking of intelligence not scaling... Yeah, look at that. 30 damage out of a lit spell. Get out of here with that. You know what? I'm going to hit the inn because I'm going to save. I want to preserve that level up, and also I want charges of lit if I run into a second shark. But we are going to go up to Matoya's cave, and we are going to loot the like 2 treasure boxes. There was like a heal potion and something else. And on our way back out, we might have enough money to buy Ruse and Harm. I feel like I always skip Harm when I run a White Mage, and then I regret it. Just walk out by J River here. We could probably, yes, this situation. This might be okay. It's not going to be a lot of experience points, but it'll give me practice pushing the button. What are you doing? You just equipped ice arrows. Right, because we got an assassin dagger. Woot woot. Don't need that. Our inventory is almost completely full, so maybe after this we need to... Like, selling isn't going to make a lot of difference, because we can't buy anything from shops anyway. We'll take that. So we might end up just having to do some, like some of this. Goodbye, Excalibur. Goodbye, Odin. Goodbye, Blitzwhip. Like, anything I can conceivably use, we'll hold on to. Like, this big bombs and any extra arrows. Got to do some cleanup. I'm excited to get my fist level here. Are y'all excited for fist level? Fist up, fist up, fist up. Beautiful. Now let's heal up. I think you can also manipulate the encounter table by using heal magic. Like, casting a spell from the menu resets how many steps until you get your next encounter or something. Alright. Let's go do the first actual storyline mission now that we have level 2 fisties. We're going to continue punching goblins. Oh, never mind, we got ambushed. That goblin didn't want anything to do with it. You know what? I'm outies. That's what he said. Of course. And are we even getting fisties anymore? He did get 1 fisties for that. Okay. Somebody is watching this video and they're like losing their mind because they don't want to hear me say fisties over and over and over, but like, what do you want from me, man? I'm doing the best I can. When you play Final Fantasy II, you need to like reach for every tool in the box, you know? And I guess what I'm implying is one of those tools is a fisty. Ugh. I mentioned, I think in the last video, I was complaining about this water that my wife bought. This new bottled water that kind of just tastes like plastic to me. I don't like it. But they're these giant bottles. So I still have the same bottle of water that I was trying to drink yesterday. Okay, so we've thrown away enough stuff. Let's just... There we go. We're a little clear now. We're a little cleaner now. Oh, wait a minute. Going the wrong way. Some gold. Yeah, I'll take a silk web. Yeah. Good, good, good. Do I have a tent? We'll use a tent here to heal up our 20 hit points on each character that we're missing. Oh, the bubble's taking me away. Goodbye! Problem is I don't have any more healing. Nope. So Snow is probably just done for. I could switch the party around and put somebody else in the lead, I guess. And he comes back to life after every battle, but not having any healing is going to be bad. Worst thing that can happen is we get a game over and have to run that dungeon again. In which case, maybe I'll go back up and buy some potions. I was thinking that my Esper would get some, like a heal spell, but she hasn't yet. Almost done with the intro. Once we get out to the overworld, I consider that the end of the intro in Final Fantasy VI. Hi, I know that you have memory issues and you're having difficulty remembering anything, but also remember where this secret entrance is. Alright, Locke, read the rune. Okay, I do want to go in here first. Nice little healing bucket. It's a monster in a box. Oh no! Blizzard's meat. No thanks. Maybe we should just run. When we're in like dire straits like this. They're Magi thieves. I wanted that Magi for myself. Why? To become a god? I don't know. That's what they say. Okay, these three Magi, we need to... You're going to take the power. You're going to take the speed. You're going to take the mana. So that'll increase Snow's ability to attack. It'll increase Saz's agility. Which will increase his damage. And then it'll increase intelligence, which makes all of the Esper stuff better. Every single encounter is here. I don't think Gerwolves are ever worth fighting, and we'll probably just run from future Gerwolves that we see. But as a proof of concept, this is what fighting Gerwolves look like. If you were curious. Oh, Terminuted. Fran actually got one. Good job, Fran. Starting to think about what I'm going to eat for my dinner after this recording is done. I don't know what possessed me to want to record in the middle of the day. It's usually just a hassle recording in the middle of the day because the dogs are popping off and the phone is popping off. But something about it, like today it's just like, hey man, let's just sit down and play all the Final Fantasy games. So I think there's three like early game treasure locations you want to hit. You want to hit the Temple of the Fiends, you want to hit Matoya's Cave, you want to hit the Dwarf Cave. And I think Dwarf Cave is still left in this game, but I think I did Dwarf Cave first in Dawn of Souls, only to confuse myself. Look at that. Now we're doing 2 hits. We've doubled our damage output. Airship, are you drunk? What are you doing? Alright, man. The airship was just in a holding pattern above... I just punched myself! Damn it! That's not what I wanted to do. Oh. I tried to target the guy, like, the bug in the back row. And that happened. Ugh. Poor guy. So now I think I do have to go into that town and see if there's a revival thing in there. There's a... I think churches in this game are free, but I don't think every town has one. I might have to walk all the way back to Altair. Oof. Alright, game, you got me. That was a good one. Alright, is there somewhere in this little town, there's an inn. It's gotta be this back here, right? In this giant building. They can't see anything. They're both 2 feet tall and they're standing behind the very back of the crowd. He's happy that she's sad. That's why he's smiling. He looked over at the princess. She looked miserable. And he's like, all is right with the world. Steiner is a villain in this game at the beginning. Why is Vivi impressed by this? He can, like, do this kind of stuff with his hands. He can make magic. Oh, now he's upset. Steiner, pick a lane, dude. We probably will not get out of the intro in Final Fantasy IX for a couple of days. Assuming I upload these videos, like, 1 per day. I don't know what kind of schedule I'm going to use. We haven't gotten that far yet. Anyway, you can use a dagger. You can use a broadsword. You can use that pointy hat that you've got. You can go in the back row. This is what I want. And now I can run. Oorah. Actually, no, the thief can go in the back row too, I guess. No, not with a dagger. Nope. Thank you. I know what I'm doing. Alright, back to the town. Where we'll do all the little scenes, and then we can do some shopping over here. And I think there's a treasure or 2 to find in Toul. I actually have to run into the pub as well. Faris is going to go get plastered, you know, as you do. Oh, I need to do this first. This is actually required, the special service. There was just a period in the 90s where Japanese game developers included their sexual deviancy into all of their games. Dragon Quest was way, way worse about it than Final Fantasy ever was, until Final Fantasy X-2, where every player character wore a bikini the entire game, and there was a status ailment that made your clothes fall off. So, that's the world we live in. I already lit him up, and he didn't die. But having an ogre is good. Ogres are good. We like ogres. Ogres are like walking XP machines in the beginning of this game. They can't do much to you except hit the guy in your front line, and you walk out with better experience than you're going to get with pretty much any other monster in the area. If I really wanted to go for money, I could farm up Kaizokus. Farm up 4,000 gil and buy a silver sword for Bosch, and that would probably happen before we got anywhere near level 3 magic with Ash. And I wouldn't need the full 4,000 either, because I could get about 1,500 out of the Dwarf Cave. That would involve a lot of hard resetting, and to do, like, manipulate the encounter list. What happens is if you hit the reset button on your console, do a hard reset, it sets the encounter list. No, you got to power cycle. You got to power cycle your console. But it'll put you back at the first slot on the encounter list. And if you're on a boat, like I am now, the first slot in the encounter list is always Kaizokus. And Kaizokus are these, like, pirate guys, and they drop a ton of money. It's a really easy way to get a lot of money very quickly. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have Keestis attack this thing, while Squall draws the blizzard out of it. And eventually it will die, and we will end up with like 50 blizzards or something. And then I'll just split my blizzards between the two of them, and that's my plan for fighting Ifrit. I think I could make a case. Like, people ask a lot when I stream, like, what's your favorite Final Fantasy game? Because I'm always streaming Final Fantasy something or other. And I don't have an answer to the question because, like, I don't think it's a good question. Like, what's your most favorite, least favorite, what's the best, what's the worst? Like, these are subjective things, and there's not, like, a good, coherent answer. Like, it depends on my mood, it depends on what I've played recently, it depends on what I want to do, like, it depends on what's available, it depends on if there's a new version, or, like, it depends on so much stuff. Because I like pretty much all these games, but I don't like them infinitely to the point where I would play them to the exclusion of all others. That said, I think I do have a lot of moods where I could make the case that Final Fantasy VIII is easily one of my favorites. Because this doesn't bother me at all. This grinding, this drawing the magic out of monsters, that this turns a lot of people off from 8, but it does not bother me at all. I really like the system where I can push a button that will have a known, measurable effect on my party's power level. Like, every time you draw magic, you get a little bit stronger in a couple of ways. Because you both get a little stronger in that, like, now I have more ice spells that I can cast, which is cool. But also, like, I can junction those ice spells into my stats to get stronger, and I can use the abilities of my GF to level up my ice spells into crazier ice spells, which then have the same use cases. Like, it's just a cool system. And it bothers people, but it doesn't bother me. I'm just clearing these monsters out because they got to be cleared out anyway. On the return trip out of the dungeon, I'm going to have to come back out one of these side paths. I can't come down the middle where the quicksand is. And also, there is a treasure over here. And I think these things are weak to axe. Yeah, they don't like that at all. Yeah, I got some ammo. It'll be really funny if I actually run Tristram out of ammo. I don't think it can happen. At least not easily, because that ammo will infinitely respawn. Alright, we'll just talk to the topless statue here. Guy is back. Alright, let's... do what healing we can do. We're only 16 points into leveling up that cure spell. Now let's go to the inn and get our magic points back. I don't need to go to the inn. We've got plenty of cure spells. Everybody gets 5 casts of cure. And we're only going to be fighting like the leg. The biggest danger to our party right now is me accidentally punching myself to death. That is the actual danger. I guess I really just didn't want to fight a water bug. I'll fight these. So I can do this. And Tella might take care of several of these at once. There we go. That's the Shake It, Quake It, Space Kaboom right there. And now that Rydia actually has some hit points to play with, we will... She gets magic using items, so I just basically use her magic points to replenish the hit points she gets from leveling up in this dungeon. Ooh, Freelixer. But yeah, the water bug back there, we don't like those. Those are kind of a pain. I think poison does persist in this game. I guess we're about to find out. It sure does. But even in this game, like, I like having the brown chests that respawn. I still like to go out of my way and get them all. I'm treasure brained. I can't not. You know? I see a box, I want to open it. The only exception is the one in Exdeath's Castle in Final Fantasy V World 2. I used it on the wrong character. I'm down to 1 heal potion. So when I do Fiesta runs, I don't want to open that chest. Because it just summons a Gilgamesh fight that then you have to deal with. Alright, we actually pulled this out of our butt. I'm actually very pleased with that. I've only got 1 hit point on my fighter on the way back to the town, but we have some money now. I'll try to fight the gang. I'm pretty sure we're just going to die here, but... Well, Snow might die. The whole party won't. Dead. Received punch. I think it's a strength weapon, which means we should try to give it to Snow. I'm gonna keep casting sleep. If it works. Oh, that's terrible. No, we can't be blind on Jill for this upcoming fight. I mean, I guess we don't have a choice. Wooden. Holy. One of these starting classes must be able to use a bow, then. No, you don't ever want to run in this game. You always want to stick it out. I think this cure spell will work. Sleep won't, but... Alright! Good job, Gav! Well played, sir. I was expecting these zombies to be tougher than that. Okay, ineffective. We do not have cure magic attacks yet. Level ups, level ups. I like the little incremental level ups you get in some of these games. There is the W Slayer. That's what I want. That's what I'm here for. Get us out of this fight, Ash. This horrible, horrible Sahagwin encounter. Okay, we did Temple of the Fiends, we did Matoya's Cave. I need to do Dwarf Cave with this team. I should have done all three in the same order in both games. But I already didn't, and I was going to buy Harm and Ruse up here. Fantastic. Everything's great. These big guys are great. These little guys are great. Everybody is great. Let's see if we can find another ogre up here. 2 sharks. You don't say. Alright. Like, what are they doing? Do they, like, flop up onto the deck? That's what it looks like in Dawn of Souls when you fight sharks on the ocean. They kind of jump up onto the deck and attack you on the deck of your own ship. It's only a little cray-cray. I don't know why I'm spreading my attacks out. I should focus on one shark until it's dead. Because, yeah, we don't have 2 attacks yet, so missing is still a big deal. So I'm going to pile everybody up, and I'm going to see if Fran can save herself. Like, the guys with chain armor up front, they're pretty safe. After we get these levels, we're going to have to put Edward in the front row, so his damage is not penalized with the dagger he has now. I'll take a Zeus Rage. We might never use that, but I'd rather have it in the inventory and not need it than need it and not have it. Who's my boss today? It's Barbariccia. Yeah, him being in the back row is not good. It's not terrible, but it'd be better if he was in the front row. See, Edwards just got the advantage because he started with an Artemis bow, which is just the best bow in the game. I wasn't expecting to start with an Artemis bow. The Twin Harp. Okay, so that'll let us get through the Dark Elf fight. And yeah, we're going to put Edward into the front because he's got the dagger. Beautiful. Also, do I have anything at all for you? I do not. Then I should give the dagger to Edward because he's got all the armor. Yeah, we'll have to make that change. Edward should go in the front with the dagger, and Edward should sit in the back with the Artemis bow. Oh, but I gave Edward an apple, so he's got a little bit more hit points. I need to give Edward's equipment to Edward. That's what needs to happen. So level 4 is the magic level. That's the level. If Ash were a black mage, Ash would now be able to cast Lit 2, but Ash is a red mage, so not quite. It might be level 5. It might only be 1 level discrepancy, where the red mage gets the spell slot that the white and black mage don't get. Actually, we can actually check, because you're level 4. Oh, you also don't have level 3 magic. Maybe it is level 5, which means that's going to push the red mage off to level 6. Probably. I wished you were an ogre. I would prefer an ogre to some wolves. It is starting to get cold in here now. That's a good sign, because it means I can turn my AC down. I'm sorry if you were hearing the buzzing in the background audio, but like, I need the air conditioning blasting. So I was just out. After I'm inside for a bit, you like cool off, then it's okay. Then you can kind of turn it back down again. But just coming in from outside, no, we gotta blast it. Trucking along in the intro in Final Fantasy VII. How does the train get back up that grade? Isn't the whole point of trains like they can't get up a grade like that? You need like a rocket on the back of it, wouldn't you? These guys have known Cloud for like 25 minutes. Like we literally just met at the start of this mission. And they're all like super obsessed with him. They're all like enamored with him. Like, man, that Cloud guy, he's so cool. I hope he's our best friend forever. Taking what out of my money? Like, how is that going to come out of my wage? Also, I've never been clear, like, I understand where the train goes through scanners, and we have to have, like, fake IDs because we're terrorists, and we're, like, flagged in the system. But, like, why don't we just hang out back here in the cargo car? What were we doing? Whatever we were doing was probably that. Oh, we're thundering a bunch of goblins. This is a waste of thunder magic, honestly. But we have so much. Like, our mage in the other game only gets 2 or 3 blasts of thunder magic. Here I have 90 divided by 5 is 12 trillion. We just cast thunder as much as we want, as often as we want, as long as we want, forever and ever and ever. Amen. And we level up much faster in Dawn of Souls. Dawn of Souls goes all the way to level 99, whereas FF1 only goes to level 50. So our mages have already eclipsed the other team in power level. Should I... Here, I'm going to do this. There. That seems appropriate to me. So we've got all of the treasures in this. So we're still ahead of Dawn of Souls, technically. This is the fight that I want in my face. Yes! Alright, Augres, show me what you're made of. 15 damage lit. Fine. Once Bosch hits level 4, because he's behind in experience, remember, but once he hits level 4, he'll be at 2 hits with the Scimitar. So his damage output will go up pretty well. And I forget exactly what level Vaughn wants to get rid of his nunchucks. We're just going to have to kind of play it by ear and see where it goes. The wrong hit here could send Ash into the dirt, though. Yeah, here's what I want to do. We want to take this off of you. We want to take this stuff off of you. We want to give you this assassin. We want to give you... that. And then we want to switch your positions. That way our most defensible character with the highest hit point total... Oh, he's behind in levels, I guess. Well, no, wait a minute. Oh, we gave Idward... Idward has the most hit points. We gave him the apple. I got all that backwards. Hold on. What we want to do is take all this off. You can have this... Oh, you don't have a ring yet. We're going to switch you guys around. We're going to give you the dagger and this handsome hat and a karate gi and a crystal ring and your highest health total so you can kind of survive in the front row. And then we're going to give you that stuff. All right, now we're out of here. So the Edwards should be pretty good. I think next we go back to Baron and see whether the bosses there are fightable. There's 2 boss fights, and if we can win both of them, we get another character check. I kind of want to just clear out all the monsters in this game. Just fight all of them, but like we'll be in the game forever if we do that. Let's just make the path out. Because we do have to walk out of this place later. We gotta remember there's a path up there. We're gonna be coming back for that. Like, yeah, it just seems we should just chill in the cargo train back there. Instead of make a scene up here. Because, like, Barret bursts in here and kicks everybody out of this car. Like, why? What's the... You're just kind of being a jerk, Barret. See, this guy doesn't want to ride the train with terrorists. I don't blame him. Yeah, someday Avalanche is going to be famous because we're terrorists! Bombs and monitors, that's what she's into. Girl after my own heart. Meanwhile... the child soldiers are still stockpiling their ice magic so they can fight the fire demon, which is a prerequisite for the war assignment they are going on later today. There's a lot of questionable morality in some of these Final Fantasy games. I mean, I get it, you're not supposed to stop and think about it, right? But, like, I did stop and think about it. And it is weird. Okay, so we're going to split up the blizzards that we got between both characters so they can both cast it when we get to the boss fight. That's the master plan. Guy, don't punch yourself, man. Punch the goblins on the other side of the world. Ineffective, because you were trying to punch a goblin that wasn't there. And I think we can get through this dungeon? Is this a dungeon? Not really, but I think we can get through it without fighting anything. So we weren't really in any danger coming up here before we did any leveling up. I just kind of wanted to see what I could do. The difference between level 1 Fisties and level 2 Fisties is you roll to hit with however many attacks you get, and you get 1 attack per level in your weapon skill. So at level 1, if you roll and you miss, you do nothing. It's a wasted turn. At level 2, you roll twice to hit, and it's really rare that you miss both of them. So it's just good to get that out of the way quickly. And I gotta be careful tapping the left button, because if you tap it twice, you punch yourself in the back of the head.
I haven't seen my evasion go up at all yet. Every little bit of damage we take is good because it means our HP might go up. But when I said earlier I like the little like incremental rewards you get from like drawing magic in 8, I don't feel that sensation in 2 because everything in 2 is like on the random curve and the feedback doesn't work. Like, you're not guaranteed to get a little bit stronger every time you fight a monster in Final Fantasy II. You just might get a little bit stronger. There's just a little room down there with nothing in it. There's a lot of water for this being a desert. He's going to teach us about bombs. $50 for 15. Okay. Yeah, if you say no to him, he cuts you a better deal. But I forgot how many times in a row you could do that. I don't even want to switch to bombs. Oh, we do need to switch to bombs up here, because we need to blow this wall over. That's why I'm going back this way. Kaboom! A shield. Lovely. Unfortunately, bombs are such a volatile weapon because they try to hit all targets, but they also split damage. And so even if an enemy is like weak to bomb attacks, it's usually not very good, specifically because you're only doing partial damage anyway. Flying enemies don't like shooting attacks. I guess I wouldn't either if I was a flying enemy. We're still one-shotting things, though. Good, good. So when you get blinded in this game, your character doesn't actually lose their vision or anything. They just turn around and face the screen rather than the enemy. That's what counts for blind in this game. Well, that other game, the previous game, before the swap. I was explaining blindness, and then the swap happened during the middle of my explanation, and now suddenly I'm talking about the wrong game. There are downsides to playing 13 Final Fantasy games at one time. I'm not saying there aren't. Let's head for Baron now. And we'll just see if we can get another Edward. Okay, we need to go, I think, up here. Enemies in town. It wasn't pioneered. It wasn't a bad idea just for Final Fantasy III. You got to do it in this game too. 7 damage. That might be an HP up. I would appreciate that. It did not. But yeah, I think we want to be up here. Around the wall. This is some, like, Dragon Quest, like, Ultima, like, go around the edge of the town, like, that kind of nonsense. I thought Final Fantasy was above that kind of stuff. Nope, guess not. Like, walk around the very edge of the map, because one step over will be a transition back to the overworld. We're going to break the verisimilitude of us having a cohesive world and pretend like it's an actual town in a place, and just acknowledge that it's not an actual town in a place. It is, in fact, just a video game construct. We're just going to ruin the fiction to hide a secret around the edge, quote-unquote, of the town. And in Dragon Quest, we're going to make you, like, unlock a door to get there. When in reality, you should just be able to, like, approach the building from a different direction. poor Scott. I do like your hat. What are we doing here? Oh, we're moving back up. Moving back up top. I will fight some cave toads. I'm okay with fight. I can do this. I can ice them down. Cool. I am going to have to step away here in a minute because my plasticky bottled water is long gone, and the lukewarm Pepsis that I put into my refrigerator should be nice and ice cold by now. I've been playing Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and Mystic Quest and Legend 2 and Dawn of Souls and Free Enterprise Oops All Edwards for about like an hour and a half or something. Yeah, I think those Pepsis, I think they're calling to me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and jump cut, and now suddenly I have an ice cold delicious drink. So it's the magic of editing, the magic of post-production. You can do anything you want, really. Like, I could make a hamburger appear on screen. I didn't do that, but I could if I wanted to. I have an interesting history with, like, video editing and, like, graphic design stuff. Because I'm not good at art. I don't have... How do I phrase this? Like, I can't, like, visualize what I want something to look like. And then make it look like that. It's just not... My brain doesn't have pictures in it. Might be one way of thinking about it. But... I've been doing this kind of stuff for so long, like I've got so much self-taught skill in like using graphic design software and video editing software and stuff that I kind of have like a repertoire of like being able to do that kind of thing. Like I really could put a hamburger on the screen if I wanted, and I'm proud of that. But like my other Final Fantasy project, my Final Fantasy Villainous, is a card game I'm making in Tabletop Simulator. It's this guy, where I'm reimagining the Final Fantasy villains as decks of cards for the board game, which is one of my favorite board games. Villainous is amazing. And I do all the graphic design work myself. Like, I had to load it up. I started out using Photoshop, now I'm using Affinity. But I load up into Affinity. Ooh, I got Mom Bomb. This should be a very easy win. Yeah, like make templates, make the graphics, choose the fonts, like all that stuff. Excuse me? And then suddenly Edward is dead. Okay, well, that's our question answered. We can't win this fight just yet. It's good to know. That's okay. We'll go loot more treasures and then come back. I don't think I want to actually fight any more bosses yet. I want to loot all the treasures I can reach first. And try to get a few more pieces of equipment, maybe. I want to fight as few bosses as I possibly can, specifically because every boss I fight is experience points I don't have later for the last couple of Edwards when we find them. Unless we just pull out a Dark Horse win against this boss we're fighting. Like, that's possible too. Yeah, go ahead and give me a hat. I kind of can't believe that we're behind in Dawn of Souls. Like, I'm trying to... Like, how does it happen? Your character walks twice as fast. Battles are much faster. We have a stronger team. How is it that it must just be the luck of the swap, right? We must have a incongruence in how much swap we've done into Final Fantasy 1 versus Dawn of Souls. And we have a loss on record, didn't we, in Final Fantasy 1? Didn't Garland kill us, and then we had to restart? Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm already misremembering things that I just played earlier this week. We are not wearing costumes for this play. We just look like this. No need to try to steal from any of these bosses. I mean, this is a great intro. Like, this is a very strong opening sequence to a JRPG. It's really, really good. It's just replaying the game is like... It feels like you're pushing through thick mud before you can get to the land, right? But it is a very, like, engaging sequence for your first time playing the game. I've never done this census. I've never checked for sure, but I would bet... Oh, please tell me I'm saved recently. Yeah, we saved outside. Great. I will bet that there is a correlation between... You know, maybe we just need to gain levels. It's like going there is going to be monster in boxes. I've got the twin harp. I could go in there and do some looting. What are my options here? Do I have a way to just win this fight? That's a question I could ask. Can I just win this fight? First of all, let's go and get our full heal together. So if I've got like an hourglass or something, I could stop it. Yeah, let's like take stock. If I've got spell casting, I know I've got a Boreas. Got some Zeus rages. I do have an hourglass. Yeah, we can use that to stop it. And then I've got the Boreas down here. Yeah, I've got... Okay, we've got some equipment. Let's try this boss fight again. Where are you guys getting this encounter that we're... What? Oh, we're inside. That's right. It was a monster box. I got real confused. I'm not gonna lie. I got real confused there for a second. Alright, I think that's all we can get out of here. It's like, I thought we were on the world map heading for Figaro Castle. Alright. Leafers. Little cabbage monsters. Burn them! Locke doesn't freak out about seeing magic until Edgar's around to point it out, which kind of implies that Locke doesn't know what he's looking at. Which, I don't know, maybe Locke is a thickie. Maybe he legitimately doesn't know. And we just, in the battle background that matches our theme now. I like it. I like it a lot. Like, I might have to use this encounter as the thumbnail for this video. Have you seen this guy Brick Road on the internet? He's proud of his text boxes that he made in a video game. It's really, really cringe. What was I doing? I was saving. Nope, castle's wrong. So we're going to go in, we're going to use the hourglass to stop and see if that's enough. It's actually a very dangerous spot for a boss to roll into, because that's the Yang spot. That's where you're fighting when you fight Yang in the story, so he's really strong and he attacks very quickly. So any boss that gets put there is very tricky. This early on, I should say. Obviously, after you gain some power, it's not that bad. But let's just see what we can do here. We can get in, get the hourglass off. I don't know if it worked. It's probably weak to ice, so we'll use this. Okay, okay. Yeah, the hourglass just didn't work at all, so the boss must just be immune to being stopped. Which, you know, fair enough, many bosses are. Are you guys getting sick of looking at the thunder animation yet? I'm not. I love it. I'll watch it 10,000 times. I will come over your house and watch it with you. Alright, we got these treasures. They still got to run up to Matoya's cave. I don't really do this running around because I want the treasures that we're getting. I'm doing the running around because I want the... Well, I want to fight the monsters on the way. I want a reason to fight monsters. To get a couple of levels up. These guys are probably already strong enough to take on the wizards. We just have to look at what our money situation looks like and try to get Thundara for one or two of them. Excellent. Basically, you run out to Matoya's cave. Yeah. Do we have magic yet? Actually, I can check the status. No, we don't have level 3 magic yet. Okay, so they're still waiting on it. Even though they're like level 7, because the level, I think I mentioned, the leveling spread is much wider in Dawn of Souls. You can go all the way to 99. So level breakpoints tend to be higher than in the original. Dead. I love that attack animation. I wish I could have Cinna forever. The idea here is that we've only have access to like stage effects. Like this is just play fighting. It's not a real fight. But I think I really just killed the two Minotaur men. Like, we hit them with real weapons and did real damage, so they're really dead. And now Cinna is also really dead. Nah, we're still in the intro. There's no danger here. Suddenly, Blank is a dirty traitor, and we're definitely going to fail this little mini-game because it's going to swap us out halfway through it, and we're going to miss prompts. And I already couldn't fit Prompto in to Dawn of Souls, so... I'll do the best I can. I forget what you get if you get all of this right and very, very fast and Queen Braun is impressed. And we're swapping away. It's all over. There's no way we get that down input when we go back to 9. Should I just try to put a down input in no matter what happens after the swap? We'll just time a down input to every swap and try to get back into it that way. How about that? I think that's the best that I could possibly do. Ooh, look at all the gremlins. And we're not even close to out of magic points, right? It is zany how many magic points we have. We have so many thunder spells. Black mages, too good. You don't need to heal. You never need to heal. They get great healing. When you get the heal staff, they can use it as an item to cast a heal spell on the whole party, and that scales with intelligence. So it's better for a black mage to use that heal staff than most other characters. And then this version of the game, you also get the rune staff, which casts Cura. So you get like a free second level heal that scales with intelligence every single turn of every single combat if you want. We're well away from having that advantage, but I'm looking forward to it. Where'd my Pepsi go? There it is. Down input. Okay. Didn't matter. I wonder if the big bomb will help us here at all. Now, that was kind of worthless. What about this? I've got a Silk Web. I could slow it. Those are good. I should have saved one of these for all 6 of them. Exploding. No, get out of here. Okay. We might pull this off. Do I have anything that can hit all of them still? Yeah, maybe this will do it. Dude! Heck yeah! We don't even get any experience from that fight, but we've used all of our spellcasting items. Hook. Okay. Okay, that's our last character check. We can get our final Edward right now. And I will do that. And then I think we finish cleaning up everything out here in the overworld. So first of all, we go here. We have Edward 8. Ooh, we've got this kind of grayish one. We've got this. He looks a little macabre. He looks like, if you will indulge me, a bit of an odd word. I don't have any more lits. Fran, please. Oh, you don't have any more cure. Okay, let's just hope Vaughn survives this ogre encounter. And if he doesn't, it's still good, because then Ash gets a little bit of extra experience, but it looks like he's going to survive. Oh, Fran wasn't going to clean up that ogre for us. Okay, gotcha. Good. Very good. So Bosch is at 2 hits now with his... You know what I'm going to do is pop this. That'll save that level, and it'll give me enough healing to get back to town safely. I'm going to use tents anyway. That cabin is just for whenever you need it. And I needed it there. Someday Vaughn can throw this nunchuck away, but I think he's going to have to wait till like level 5 or 6 or so. I've done the math on this many times. It seems like this should just be something I know off the top of my head. Okay, let's get a down input ready. Down. Okay. It was fine. Didn't need it. Didn't need it. Wasn't 9. Okay, let's run these nerds to Matoya's cave. We have so much more. We have twice as many magic points now as we did before we went up to the Temple of the Fiends to get that cap. Just the level ups that we grabbed. Excellent. And once we get level 3 magic, this single target nonsense is done. No more single target nonsense after a certain point. Look out, he's got a knife! Yeah, so this walking up here past J River just gets you like a heal potion and a pure potion, but the pure potion is actually very helpful. Like, early game getting poisoned is a huge liability, so you want a pure potion in your pocket in case you need it. Alright, let's get a down input ready. Didn't need it. Okay. Six AP. Beautiful. And we are moving on. So is there anything out here that gives us cure? I would like to know. Oh, I gotta split my blizzards up as well. I forgot. Like, these guys are like fire and scan. We'll do the same thing. We'll let Keestis draw, and then we'll have Squall attack. Division of labor. You'll love to see it. Because, yeah, 2 explodey slashes, and we're knocking these guys down now. We don't actually have any junction abilities just yet, so we're not using our magic to junction to stats yet. But that is the end goal. Alright, let's ready a down input. Oh, now I got to ready a down input and a shoulder R1 input. Because we're going to swap into Squall needing... So, okay, now when I swap, I need to push down in R1. It's not that life or death. It's not that big of a deal. We're just popping the pianos here in case I want to go crazy with Bard later, which I might. Bard is one of the best jobs in the game. I can run because I'm a thief. Alright, is there any freebies in this town? There's like this here. I don't know if there's like anything in here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Down in R1. Down R1! I actually got it! Oh, then I missed it. I missed the next one. Oh, my goodness. All that prep work, and I still flubbed it. I got the down input, and I failed the input after that. How do we do? 68 were impressed. Queen Braun is not impressed. No, we're going to leave the fight scene there. Hey, you know, 481 gil. I can buy an ice cream cone with that. Why are there... How do you know they're cookie crumbs? That's the first question. Like, they could be anything. Alright, R1 button. Here we go. Oh, didn't need it. Oh, I didn't mean to do this again. Alright, we have a ring now, which means we can leave. And they'll put Minwu in the party, and then the grind begins. 'Cause I want to get enough Fisties levels that I don't have to stop and get more Fisties levels later. You know what I mean? So we'll drop the save. Wave to the airship. Why is Guy in the back row? So if you're in the back row in this game, you can't attack. Like when Guy goes to attack, it'll just be completely ineffective. Hooray! I guess he gets put in the back row when he gets killed. I guess that's what happened. When he punched himself to death. I guess. We just had to fix it. But yeah, Minwu will give us a canoe, then he'll join the party, and then he occupies the 4th slot. Which means we can do some grinding with Guy. I missed that input. Flubbed it again, Brick Road. Ooh, level up. I really thought I could get some cure spells. If nothing else, we will save the game outside the cave here. Because they give you an option, like how much time do you want to do this event? And then if you complete it in the amount of time you're given, you get bonuses for later. And it's always best to just give yourself the least amount of time. Like, it's not that tight. So you get the best bonus, which is what we're going to do. Maybe we can get some cures inside the dungeon. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I just want enough to have, like, a lifeline, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to stockpile a million cures yet. That comes later, but... I do want enough that if I do take some damage, I can just heal myself and be okay. I'm working really, really hard to not accidentally punch myself. Ugh. I feel like I've kept the Final Fantasy II complaining to a minimum in today's video. I'm proud of myself for that. I do attempt periodically to grow as a person, and I feel this is one potential area where I can grow. I can get better about not complaining about Final Fantasy II. Things would be improved if Final Fantasy II had a lovely, like, dark forest-themed text boxes, right? Like, that'd be fine. Cave toads again. I will fight some cave toads. Why not? Let Tella get bit by a toad. The ice should just do most of the job for me. Yeah, look at that. If you're playing Final Fantasy, reptiles are weak to ice. If you're playing Chrono Trigger, reptiles are weak to lightning. Don't get these mixed up, even though Chrono Trigger is a Final Fantasy game. I probably should have put it in this rotation, come to think. Oh, that would have been sick. Why didn't I put Chrono Trigger in this rotation? We'd be pretty SNES heavy if I did that. We're pretty SNES heavy as it is. Is that my official excuse? I didn't want just one more SNES game? It's confusing too, because some of these games, if I want to multi-target, I have to push... Like in this game, you want to push left, which is away from your party. In Final Fantasy II, if you do that, you target your party. In that game, you want to push up towards the top of the screen. In other games, you want to push the R button. R is your toggle between single or multiple targets. It's all very confusing. I know I liked this kind of violet color that I've got in the windows here at first, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking maybe it's not distinctive enough, because now my eyes just see blue. It's a dark blue. It kind of matches the robes of the Black Mage. There's this. There are these extra little scenes that the NES version doesn't have to do, but I always figured that like this was a drop in the bucket compared to just the walking speed increase in Dawn of Souls. I'm gonna steal all your stuff. Thank you, drive-thru. This guy now. Okay, we're gonna fight. You've got no magic worth using. We're gonna try to put you to sleep. I'm gonna assume it doesn't work. Oh, I could have put Jill's sword on. You can equip weapons in battle in this game. But you actually need to cure. I'm sorry, did that not work? What happened there? I don't understand. No, for real though, cure this man. Is it because you're blind? Does blindness have an effect on... What? I don't know. Ooh, we found another Southwind. Alright, so this is a red mage only. Sword. Oh, hey, it's you. Yeah, it's me. You know, don't forget, we have to rename Edgar. We're gonna keep his name. His name's gonna be Edgar. But we have to change it to lowercase. It's just a thing we gotta do. I'm gonna steal this from you. And then I'm gonna go back behind here into your like little pointless walkway. Great. Did anybody tell her we were gonna like be seeing the king immediately? All right, here we go. Edgar. Thank you. I no longer have a dog named Edgar. His time has run its course. Now I'm down to just Lulu and Prompto, neither of which are represented in this shuffler. Oh, my wife would be so mad at me. When I tell her, hey, I'm playing all the Final Fantasy games, she's like, oh, are Lulu and Prompto there? I'll be like, no. Prompto's name is too long, and Lulu's game is just not represented at all. Alright, now we gotta name another character on the other side of the castle. What was I doing in this game? We've done Matoya. Oh, we just raided the dwarves. We're on our way back to the inn one more time, then. So we might end up fighting ogres until I can get enough money to just do what I need to do. So when we go into the marsh cave, I'm going to want a couple of pure potions, a couple of cure potions, and 2 tents. Oh, tents I can buy. Tents I need to buy here. Tents are not for sale in Elfland. They only have cabins because they fancy. It's really disturbing. Yeah, give me a tent. Give me a tent. That's all I want, because $16.99, that's enough to buy the one spell that I want, and then use the inn in Elfland. Very odd eye, this eye. It's odd. It's Odyssey. Oof. Bosh, my dude. Those things only have 10 hit points, and I put my strongest man on it, and I got nothing. I got nothing out of that. Fortunately, enemies in this game are very dumb. Where was I going? This way. Not even the bridges are safe. Look, it says I'm over the water. That's cute. I didn't know you could get a battle background like this. Surely this is distinct from the ocean background that we'll see later when we get a boat. Although maybe not. Now that I've said that out loud, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Almost home. Do I show the ring to Hilda, or do I show the ring to Gordon? I don't remember now. Mr. Ramsey himself. Alright, all the treasures are done here. Now we sail these guys to Elfland to buy spells. Oh, I love it. We might lose a black mage or two here, but, you know. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Looks like we're fine, though. Gladio's within striking distance of one of these worms. And now so is Aranan. I will just take the save. Heck yeah. And these guys just... I mean, they're not even a challenge at this point. Just pathetic, really. Couldn't have been a second pack of ogres, please? The ogres really need to show up in the NES run. That's where we really need to see them. They're the ones that are in desperate need of more and more and more levels. Alright, we're going to hit the inn here, sail down to Elfland. Oh, Crazy Horse. How crazy are you? This is like they couldn't graphically show us all the like world building and design that went into Midgar, so this is the best they could do at the time. None of this has any impact on the game itself, but it's just cool, like, little information. I mean, it has a little bit of mechanical impact because of the security checkpoint, I guess. They spend so much time in this game establishing that, like, Midgar is terrible and it's filled with people like the downtrodden and the slums are off. But this world is so huge. I feel like the theming that they're going for here gets undercut, like, pretty much immediately when you get to Calm. Because when you get to Calm, and then pretty much every single town or village after that, it's like, these places are idyllic. Except for, I guess, Junon. There's slums in Junon. But yeah, for the most part, like, Midgar is just like a speck in the world. And, like, everywhere else in the world is, like, beautiful. Calm is this nice, like, idyllic little village. Junon is this really, like, progressive and prosperous city. Costa del Sol is literally an ocean resort location. Like, every place you go is kind of cool. Like, even Rocket Town, like, yeah, this nice little podunk. Like, you've got the giant rusted rocket, like the folly of man or whatever, but, like, the town itself seems fine. It's fine to live there. It's a nice little town and you can see the sky. Just feel like all the people living in the Midgar slums could just move, like, 20 miles up the road to, like, a spot along the coast or something, found a new village, and be like North Midgar. Unless you just love living in the city, you know? It's just difficult to really square the, like, social stratification they want you to internalize in Final Fantasy VII with the typical, like, walk the earth JRPG world they're eventually going to go on. I hate to give 7 Remake any credit, but, like, 7 Remake does handle it better for that reason, because you actually spend the whole game in Midgar. So that's what I need. I bought Fire 2. Oh, I'm stupid. I tried to buy Lit 2. I don't want Fire 2. Dag nabbit. Well, we're doing some leveling up anyway. We're gonna have to get Fire 2. Is a spell that I do want eventually. So, yeah, let's just jump into the cave and we'll just see if we can make any headway in here. "28 minutes into Final Fantasy VIII. Which means we must be about 28 minutes into all of them. I don't think I can junction anything yet. Just yet. Because our GFs... Oh, maybe our GFs do know some stuff. And I do have to split spells. We're going to take a look. We're going to spend some time in the menu here and find out for sure. Before I get the timer running in the fire cave, I want to be sure I know what I'm doing. Make sure everybody's got Blizzard magic. If we can junction, I will, but I don't think you can at first. You gotta learn the junction. Oh, maybe Shiva and Quetzalcoatl start with junction abilities. I didn't think about that. We'll take a look. Maybe go in this dungeon with an extra point of strength or something. Sabin. one of, if not the best character in the game. And then that scene gets undercut by them using the same sprite for Sabin, as we learn later. Like, he didn't start his, like, Wacky Shack karate training yet. What were we doing here? Oh, I was yelling because I got Fire 2. Because I'm... Alright, here, let's just... go see if we can find some ogres around here. I already got my 2/10. I wasted all of my gold on the wrong spell. We do want Fire 2 eventually. It's not wasted entirely. I do want the Fire 2 spell. Just Lit 2 is what I needed first. I can't cast it yet anyway, so maybe by the time I can cast it, we'll have the money to buy the proper spell. I thought Bosch should be getting 2 attacks. With his scimitar. It's probably better to go onto the ocean anyway and do the fighting, because nothing on the ocean can poison you. Yeah, I don't want to have to run around and get pure spells. Also, we got to run away from stuff like this, like garbage. Like, the ocean, I think, is going to be the better place to fight. Just in general, at this point in the game, that's usually true. Because you can pretty much take every encounter on the ocean. You can do the fighting 5 steps away from a cheaper inn. And you might get Kaizokus, which are heavier in gold than anything you'll fight on land. Coming up on the end of the Final Fantasy VII intro. Once we get to the slums, I feel like that's kind of the end of the intro. Why do you all jump off, like, over the stairs? Or, like, walk down the stairs like a normal person? Barrett is extremely convinced that terrorism will solve all of his problems, and this is not a character arc that actually gets meaningfully explored, unfortunately. So I don't think we want to go to the bar right away. I think we want to go down to one of the shops, and there's, like, freebies. We want to be down here. I think. I might be wrong. Yeah, this is the room I'm thinking of. Oh, you know, we might have to do the bar sequence first before it'll open up. Maybe we'll... Yeah, maybe that's it. In which case, we're not done with the intro yet. The whole bar sequence is part of the intro. I'm just annoyed because I'm back in Final Fantasy II. I was in a good mood, and then it switched to Final Fantasy II. Alright, let's use up my heal magic. To the extent that I can. We'll drop the save. Seems like a good idea. We'll swap away. What am I doing? I'm in the ship, fighting monsters, looking for Kaizokus, basically. But I will take what I can get. So we need to get back up to 1,500 gold. Technically, ogres are the fastest, but way to level. But I think anywhere we can encounter ogres, we can also encounter asps and arachnids, which poison, which is a drain on your resources. I want to lit ones that have not been attacked yet. And unlike the black mages, like one pack of these Sahags, that'll eat up all of my lit spells. But it might pay for its own inn stay. If we get more than 30 gold from the fight, we immediately just go to the inn and recharge, so it's not a big deal. But are we going to get 30 gold from the fight? That I don't know. Alright, so I can't do anything here yet. Okay, let's go do the bar scene then. Too many sound effects in there. I remember washing this room in Power Wash Simulator. It is, and was very dirty. We will just keep your name that. And then in Power Wash Simulator, you wash Cloud's sword, and you get it nice and squeaky clean, and then Tifa sends you a message saying, oh, Cloud is really gonna appreciate that you washed his sword. I'm like, no, he's not. He's freaking Cloud. He's not gonna care. Like, what are you talking about? Right, and she's gonna carry our party for a while. Like, she's just going to be awesome for me. He's got Thunder, she's got Cure Spells, she's got everything we need. Everything a growing boy needs. I got a Punch item, and I think that's for Strength. We'll give that to you. The question is, can I afford an SMG in the next town? I think they're available in the next town. Can I afford one? So that's just a really, really good option for the robot for a while. You don't get to go down and clean the downstairs, unfortunately. Also, they've removed that from the store. Like, I don't think you can buy the Final Fantasy VII DLC anymore for Power Wash. They think they removed it. I got a message saying, oh, this and the Tomb Raider stuff are going away. Presumably because their licensing with Square Enix ran out. Alright, Barret, calm down. We had to determine who the manliest man is. That's really the whole point of that scene. Oh yeah, we got plenty of gold. Really want to look for Kaizoku's. If I do a hard reset, the question is, does it ruin the swap? Hard reset. We should see Kaizoku's now. There's your boys. The question is, did doing that like mess up the swap at all? Are we still in the shop? I think it works fine. I think it's okay. I think we can safely reset, load state, whatever we need to do, and it won't interfere with the swap. I hope that's true. I'm like 80%. I'm less sure now than I was when I started this sentence, because it's been about a minute. But all that gold is going to be very helpful. Oh, no, have I... Oh, there it goes. Okay, so yeah, it's absolutely fine. We can hard reset, no question. Yeah, you, my friend, you are Oddward. And you've just got what you got. And that's what we get. Cool. So we actually won that boss fight. Excellent. Do we get a recharge? We did. And we got the hook. So we can immediately, without even getting into another fight, let's pick this up. Oh, over here. This way. There we go. Drop it off. Land. There's a monster box, but we can do the character check first. So we're going to head in here. We'll drop the save. Get Oddward officially in the party. Oh, we didn't actually want to keep those, I guess. Oh, well. Can't do anything with that. Oh, actually, the monster boxes might be randomized, now that I think about it. Which means any of one of these could be a monster box. Let's go get the character first, and then walk back and get the treasures on the way out. That's what we'll do. Because if I've randomized the monster boxes, then any of these could be a monster box, and that could just be terrifying. But there's so many treasures in here. It's such a good place to look for equipment. The day will come when we will be able to sprint in Final Fantasy VI, and on that day, we shall join hands and rejoice, brothers and sisters. And there might be butt touches. Not going to make any promises. Just make sure you fill out your consent forms, get your permission slips filed. If you want the butt touches, let me know. It can be arranged. You don't need to opt out. Butt touches are purely opt-in. That's why we do the permission slips. I'm getting canceled for this. Where are we going next? Oh, back here, huh? Now we hard reset. Kaboom. And if you've never used this trick, this is how you get lots of money early in the game. In the NES version of FF1, as you fight these Kaizokus. 5 of them! Alright, now we're talking. We're going to get that... You know what? We might go to 4,000 and get the Silver Sword then. I think we'll get to 4,000 bucks and buy a Silver Sword for Bosch before we get Ash to use level 3 magic. I think it's absolutely possible. You know what? I want to just tighten up lit on a couple of them. I don't want to accidentally use lit on one that doesn't need it. So I've only got so many lits, and there's 5 of these big boys, so... And harm doesn't do anything to them. You cannot harm them. So we're just going to soften each one up a little bit, that's all. Like, the first one hasn't been softened at all. It's just been Bosch pummeling it. Sir Kefka? He was knighted? That's just a little pet peeve of mine. Any kind of fantasy writing that just uses the word sir as, like, a generic honorific for a male character when it's supposed to be literally be a knight. Like, I understand that kind of throughout literature it has just kind of become a generic honorific, but that's not how I like to use it. Kefka is not Sir of anything. My D&D players get really upset with me when I do that. When they like they'll be speaking in character and they'll call like use sir in that way, and then I'll interrupt what they were saying to point out that the character's not a knight, and then they're just like, Brick Road, stop. Please stop. Please stop forever. Can we get in front of Locke here? Nope, we were too late. Oh, we took one extra step we didn't have to take. My bad. Can't get in front of the Chocobo either. Everybody's getting in our way today. So Locke hasn't introduced himself yet? Like, he didn't tell her his name until this point? Alright, does Gordon want the... I think we gotta go show it to Hilda. I don't think Gordon cares. What's happened to him? We don't know. This is the inn. I don't want the inn. I want Minwu in the party. Hey, baby. I have ring. Now we have a ring clogging up the inventory forever. And this is one of my problems with Final Fantasy II. Hear me out. The game is predicated on the idea that, like, Queen Hilda is a ruler in exile, and she is sending you on these away missions. Everything you do in the game is because Queen Hilda is trying to advance the war effort. But nothing you ever do matters. Ever. Like, in Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy V, most of what you do, quote-unquote, doesn't matter because you fail. You always get to the crystal 10 minutes before it explodes, or you always, like, find Golbez just as he's about to, like, score a win. Like, Cecil and his friends and Bartz and his friends, they fail repeatedly, but, like, they fail in the course of the plot. In Final Fantasy II, your missions don't fail, they just don't matter. Like, they're going to send us on this mission to retrieve Mithril so we can make better weapons. But then we complete that mission and we get access to the Mithril, and the shop does start selling Mithril weapons, but we never hear about it again. We don't hear, like, okay, what has advanced in the war? What are we able to do now in the war effort that we weren't able to do before? We don't gain any ground. We don't retake any towns. It's just the next mission triggers. Now she's like, we want to take out their airship, their big warship. So we need to do that. But to do that, there's 2 or 3 things we have to get first. We got to go find a bell, and then we got to go use the bell in the castle with Gordon to get the magic flame, and then we got to take the magic... Like, we got to do all these, like, reconnaissance... And none of them matter. Because you do all of them, and then the warship just blows up a bunch of towns anyway. So, it's not just simple failure, it's like, the missions you don't accomplish anything. Even when the game tells you accomplish anything. Later in the game, they're like, we should get the Ultima spell. This is a good... Minwu, go and figure out how to get the Ultima spell. We're going to need that. And then Minwu disappears for like half of the game while you're off doing other nonsense. And you go... When eventually they're like, we haven't seen Minwu in like 6 weeks. I wonder what he's up to. And so why don't you go see if you can get the Ultima spell? Can you get the Ultima spell for us? So you go do it. Well, to do it, you got to go to this dungeon and get this mask, and this dungeon and get this mask, and you got to do get all the keys to open the place where the Ultima spell lives, and then you go there and you sail there, and a monster eats you, and you're in the monster, and you fight your way out of the monster, and then you go... all the way up this tower, 10 floors of this tower filled with boss fights, and you get to the top, and Minwu's like, oh, I've been here the whole time, but like I can't get the ultimate spell because it's in this thing, and if I touch the thing to open it, I'll die. And then he's like, so I guess I'll do that, and then he dies! And then you get the ultimate spell, and then nothing. You never hear about it again. You don't do anything with it. It's just at that point the queen's like, oh, the Empire is attacking in this new way, and we gotta go to the whirlwind now, and like, what? We went through all this trouble to get to the... It's one thing that the ultimate spell sucks. It's one thing that it's, like, not a useful spell in combat. It's worthless. It's completely bad. There's no monster in the game that you would want to cast Ultima on. So that already sucks. But, like, in the plot, nothing happened. Like, you don't use Ultima to open the way to get into the whirlwind, right? You don't... Yeah, like... It just sucks, top to bottom. Nothing you do ever matters for any reason, ever. It's redonk. Okay, so I think we clear out the treasures in this location. I think we can win the... Edwarn joined. We'll change his name to something else. We won't have Edwarn. So what I want to do is use the save point here. Because when we open the boxes on the way out, we might get the monster box at any point. By default, the monster box is in this room. But it's not this time. So, yeah, the monster box is somewhere else. I've got an ag apple. Both of you are on 60, but you are in the front row, so probably you take that, and then we'll do this to heal you. Alright, now we can open up the boxes in this dungeon, and we'll get a monster box at some point. I'll throw the silk web out to try to slow, and then we'll see if we can just put some damage into the world. An ow apple. Ooh, we're rocking the apples today. And then going up into the tower, I think, would be a bad idea. Because there's a monster box there we don't want to run into either. I should have thrown that away. I can't use that. Yes, please. We'll give that to Edward. He's got one. We'll give that to you then. Because you're our other front row Edward. And you need the defense. I'm all riled up now. Like, that Ultima spell, why? So, like, yeah, in a narrative, it's okay. Like, if you're like in 9 is another great example. Your characters fail at everything they do in Final Fantasy 9 for much of the like first disc, surely. Like, you get little character victories here and there, but, like, the Mist Continent has 4 nations on it, and all 4 nations get destroyed by magic before, like, the end of the second disc. Like, it gets so bad at one point that Garnet literally has a trauma response and stops talking. But the narrative, like, leans into the failures, so the failures are kind of earned by the story. Like, the characters have to change and grow from them, right? But there's no scene in Final Fantasy II where they're like, we went through all this trouble to get Mithril, and either here's what it's done for us, or here's why it didn't work as well as we thought. And then it's compounded because half of the time in Final Fantasy II, like, characters die for you to... Like, Joseph dies, and then Minwu dies, and Rickard... Rickard, I think, dies in the whirlwind, doesn't he? His death might be earned. I don't know. I forget. Rickard's a cool guy. I like Rickard. Who doesn't like Rickard? What am I doing? Saving. Here we go. Can I afford an SMG? I would like to. It might not even be here. I might be misremembering where the SMG... We'll see what is here. Ice? Yeah, SMG. 6,800. That's expensive. Sell. Okay, let's get rid of that. All your stuff you want, because it's all stats. Is there anything you can give me? Not really. Do I go for the SMG here, or do I just continue? Like, I think with Key in the party, Key is a pretty good carry. Key will be able to carry us through the dungeon that's coming up here, I think. I don't really remember where the dungeon is in this little rock maze. Oh, but we do need to go stay at the inn to get our charges back. The difference between the Colt and the SMG is the SMG will hit every monster in a group. So we will hit up the inn. Do you even have armor? Does Snow not have armor? Maybe I gotta get him some armor, dude. So maybe it's not time to buy the SMG yet. We just need to try to get some armor on Snow and maybe Light. I am delightful. Thank you, Kefka. Terra has forgotten everything about her old life except for how to ride a chocobo. Never forget how to ride a chocobo once you... once you've done it once. I will tell you what, though. I am starving to death, and I kind of don't want to sit through this whole tutorial right now. So this is a good point for me to say thank you for watching, peace out, and sleep well.